Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy, I'm Christy Don One, and I'm back with another live stream, another video. We're gonna be talking about Tyronn Lue. He feels kind of insulted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Feel insulted by the Los Angeles Lakers. Cause the Los Angeles Lakers only gave him, he feels, an insignificant amount. First of all, I want to say this. It really doesn't matter what network you watch or what publication you subscribe to or channel or whatnot, wherever you get your information from when you're talking about sports information. Everybody says the same theme over and over again. The Los Angeles Lakers are never going to be successful because every time there's a GM position, every time there's a coaching position, a front office position, they always give the job to somebody who either played for the Los Angeles Lakers or was in the Los Angeles Lakers glory years, sort of say. Aren't y'all tired of that same old thing? Isn't that the same old garbage they said about Jerry West? Jerry West was kind of successful with the Los Angeles, even though he played for them. Isn't that the same thing they said about Magic Johnson? They're never going to be successful if they keep hiring people that used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. I thought Magic brief time with the Los Angeles Lakers was okay. It wasn't championship okay, but it was okay. All right. And isn't that what they said about Byron Scott? Even though Byron Scott, only lasted as the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers as, a shorter span than drinking a cup of coffee at Starbucks, still, he had an okay record. All right. It's funny how people say that, but they say the best candidate to be the next successor for the Los Angeles Lakers coaching staff is Tyronn Lue, and people seem to forget Tyronn Lue used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. The best candidate for the Los Angeles Lakers organization is Tyronn Lue, and Tyronn Lue used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. And now people saying, it's blowing up in the Los Angeles Lakers' face because they couldn't secure Tyronn Lue. They couldn't secure the bag for Tyronn Lue. And there's a lot of people that seem to think that Tyronn Lue was insulted by the 3-year contract. Pretty good money, 3 years. In other words, Tyronn Lue was going to be there as long as LeBron James was going to be there. Even though when you can pretty much say that Tyronn's best years was with LeBron James. And when LeBron James left, he only lasted 10 games for the Cleveland Cavaliers until the Cleveland Cavaliers said, you know what? Let's just fire Tyronn Lue. So, if you look at Tyronn Lue's coaching resume, which is by far, I think it's a good coaching resume. I'm not hating on the man, but one could argue and one could assume that the time Tyronn Lue was very successful is when he had LeBron James. LeBron James is the same individual. And when you look at LeBron James' playing career, he never played alongside a Hall of Fame coach. So why all of a sudden you need some type of Hall of Fame coach or some type of coach that has a championship background? Tyronn Lue didn't have a coaching championship background when he played coached for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He won an NBA championship as a coach. But it was this. But one could assume that it was simply the fact that they had the best player on the planet, LBJ. So let's just dive into this. People call it a mess, and it was a 3-year offer. I think it was $5 or $6 million a year, and the Lakers wanted to pick his coaching staff or his assistant coach. They was interested in Jason Kidd maybe being the assistant coach, or Frank Vogel. I forgot the other coach that they was interested in, as far as he was going to be Tyronn Lue's assistant, which basically you will have two coaches, all right? One coach who knows a thing or two about LeBron James, who can probably get the best out of LeBron James, which to me, if you think that way, people seem to forget LeBron James has been in the league for over 10 years. I think LeBron James' best years are behind him. The reason, and I said that the past couple of years, if you been checking out LeBron James, his efficiency has, he's not the same player like he once was with the Miami Heat. And it's not because he's not training any harder. It's not because it's the simple fact that he's eating everything that's in front of him. It's just a simple fact he's an older player. And that tends to happen to older players. But Pat Riley, when he was playing for Pat Riley knew that. Pat Riley was basically telling LeBron James, look, you do marvelous things with your athletic ability, but sooner or later, your athletic ability is going to say bye-bye to your body, and now you're going to have to resort to other things, like, having your back in front of the basket, backing players down, making sure your mid-range game, working on your mid-range game, working a little bit on, working on your free throws, because those are easy points. Working on, working on the bases. And I'm not even going to go into 3-point. I just think as far as LeBron James go as a 3-point scorer, this is the best he's going to be as a 3-point scorer. You either have to live with it or die trying with LeBron James' 3-point game. I don't think LeBron James' 3-point game is going to improve. I think it's going to hover around that percentage, and he may have a stretch or two where people are gonna say, "Oh man, he's dropping threes everywhere. They should just let him be a primary 3-point scorer." LeBron James is not a 3-point scorer. Okay, Michael Jordan wasn't a 3-point scorer. Okay, but I feel like LeBron James should have worked, work on his low post game. I think he can push a lot of defenders closer to the basket, and he can get easy points that way. He needs to work on his mid-range rate. He definitely needs to work on his free throw game. Okay, but we're getting off topic. Let's talk about the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, the Los Angeles Lakers. People are saying they didn't get Tyronn Lue. It's a joke of a franchise. All because they couldn't get Tyronn Lue. And, have Tyronn Lue proven anything outside of LeBron James? I feel like there's better candidates out there that's better than Tyronn Lue. And, clearly the Los Angeles Lakers organization sees that as well. That's why they threw him a bone with the contract. I'm pretty sure LeBron James talk to the organization, Jeannie Buss and them, and say, well, kick the tires around with Tyronn Lue. You may like him, okay? I don't think Tyronn Lue was their top candidate, okay? And it really doesn't matter. It kills me about people with all these platforms, and the first thing they do is not only say their motivation and what they feel is a bad thought, is a bad perspective, okay? But then they turn around and, say, well, look, they never made good decisions. Look at their history. Look at the coaches that they done hired, okay? Even though a lot of those coaches that they have hired and fired, they wasn't hired and fired under the organization that they have right now. Under Jeannie Buss, under Rob Pelinka, okay? Under that organization umbrella tree, okay? So, you have, to me, I feel like they done a decent job, even with Magic Johnson, okay? Even with Magic Johnson, I feel like, they got LeBron James. Now they need to add another piece. And I've been saying this ever since they got LeBron James. I said, they're not going to get a second player to play alongside LeBron James. They're not going to get a Kevin Durant, okay? They're not, they're not going to get a Klay Thompson. They're not going to get, and I keep forgetting his name. He used to play for the Spurs. It'll come to me. Now he's playing for Toronto. Kawhi Leonard. They're not going to get those upper echelon players, okay? Because those upper echelon players, they want their own team. And if they play alongside LeBron James, they're thinking, that's not going to be my team. LeBron James is going to get all the credit, okay? And it's not going to be their team. LeBron's going to be Batman. They're going to be Robin. So that's why I said when they signed Magic Johnson, when Magic Johnson became the GM, when Magic Johnson hit free agency last summer and got LBJ, which technically, Magic didn't really have to say anything to get LeBron James because LeBron James had other interest in Hollywood as well. So he was coming regardless if Magic didn't even have to say a word and LeBron James would have still signed with the LA Lakers because LeBron James is thinking of other things besides basketball. If you look retrospective, that wasn't even the best basketball decision, okay? There was other teams he could have went to, okay? He could have went to the Milwaukee Bucks. He would still be dominating in the playoffs. He could have went to the Philadelphia 76ers. Still would be dominating in the playoffs. There was a small percentage chance, a small window he could have signed with the Boston Celtics. And with him and him clearly being the man of the Boston Celtics and taking the pressure off of Kyrie Irving, Boston Celtics probably would still be deep into the playoffs. So, the decision of him going to the Los Angeles Lakers, that wasn't necessarily a basketball decision. That was more so of a retrospective of other things he's interested in the Los Angeles area. Okay, want to be in movies, want to produce shows. And I'm not hating on the man. If he wants to do that, fine, he can do that. I have no, you should do what you want to do. But if you look at when you look at it far away, this was clearly not a basketball move. It wasn't a basketball decision. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So, Tyronn Lue, people feel like this whole perspective of the Los Angeles Lakers organization by them not getting Tyronn Lue, it's a bad look and a bad fit for the Los Angeles Lakers. Like I said earlier in the live stream, what has Tyronn Lue done outside of having LeBron James? He really hasn't done that much. Okay, so for him, for everyone to sit up here and say the Lakers are never going to be successful again. If you go into this offseason, you still got LBJ, and you may not get those other players I mentioned. Okay, there's a possibility you may get Kyrie Irving. I don't think you're going to get Kyrie Irving. Okay, but I think the Los Angeles Lakers should focus on as far as another player goes, getting someone that's stop worrying about getting these upper echelon players and just get a team, okay, that can play around LeBron James. Okay, clearly the younger Lakers like Alonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, okay, if you can still keep those players, fine, but it's not that serious, it's not that important if you can't. If you have to package them in to get better players, I don't, even though the Los Angeles Lakers, when LeBron James went down, a lot of people say, well, they was fourth place. That was earlier in the season. Everybody's pretty much feeling each other, okay? And you really can't judge a team that early. I like to judge them, after the All-Star break, what they look like, okay? And to me, the Los Angeles Lakers playing that style is not going to work. You have to slow the pace down because you got an aging player like LeBron James. That's the reason why he took plays off on the defensive end, because he's trying to save up enough energy for the offensive end. Okay, you got some decent pieces, Ingram, Kuzma and Ball. Even though he was injured as well, you really can't give up on him that fast, that quick, because you might have a diamond in the rough. Okay, because remember, the Los Angeles Lakers, when they had Magic Johnson making all the decisions, he got rid of D'Angelo Russell real fast, okay? And he's turning out to be, besides the fact that he got caught with some marijuana in an Arizona tea can, we'll talk about that another time, another date. But besides that, D'Angelo Russell was having a great season with the Brooklyn Nets, and he could have demanded the market. Well, he could have gotten a huge payday had the Brooklyn Nets overbidding and overspending for his services, okay? But he's going to be on the market. The Lakers have an opportunity to sign him, but they're going to have to sign him as a max player, okay? So, there's a lot of pieces in place, that I feel like Los Angeles Lakers first need an identity. And they need a coach that can work with the young core as well as LeBron James. I think Tom Thibodeau is a great recommendation. I'm lukewarm on Jason Kidd because of his last coaching stint with the Milwaukee Bucks. They were, he couldn't get the pieces together, and when they fired Jason Kidd, now the Milwaukee Bucks are going to the Eastern Conference Finals. So you have to wonder about Jason Kidd. Is he that type of a coach that could, you're going to need a coach who can work with the young squad as well as with LeBron James. And I feel like Tom Thibodeau is the number one candidate in my opinion, because he demands that respect. Okay, he's not going to be a pushover. He's not going to be a walkthrough. Okay, so LeBron James will have to respect him. Like he didn't with Luke Walton, because Luke Walton was up and he was younger, and he's kind of raw, and you really don't know what you're going to get out of Luke Walton. The reason why Luke Walton a good coach, because he coached clearly the best squad in the NBA at that time was the Golden State Warriors. Was more so with the Golden State Warriors and less so with Luke Walton. When he went to Los Angeles, he couldn't really he couldn't get them over the hump. So he didn't have that much clout. He didn't have that much credit, as far as demanding respect from LeBron James. LeBron James is not going to respect anybody like that, okay? Because he really hasn't proven anything. So you're going to need a veteran voice type of coach that could, that's going to demand respect from everyone, including LeBron James. He's not going to bow down to anybody, okay? So I feel like, out of all the free agent the coaches out there, I felt like Tom Thibodeau makes a good match. You give him a 3-year offer. You're not going to be invested with him that long, okay? And you just see what you can get with and you try to keep that young core as best as you can. You still got LeBron James. You just add pieces around him. You clearly need a strategist type of coach that can blend in all these talents, okay? And who knows, next year if KD leaves, the Golden State Warriors are probably going to be a step or two slower, okay? The Spurs are probably going to be rebuilding. You really don't know, okay? So, the West is not as clear cut as this year when you compare it to the future of next year, okay? So there's a possibility that the Lakers can go to the playoffs and they can make some noise in the playoffs and possibly go deep in the playoffs, depending on what coach you get. First, you need a coach, okay, that has his own strategy, has his own identity, and you're going to need a coach that can blend the young talent with LeBron James, and you just add pieces around him. Clearly, you're going to need shooters, okay? You're clearly going to need shooters, okay? I feel like as far as LeBron James, being a bull in the China shop, doing dunks, speeding down, doing dunks, I think those days are behind him. But I feel like LeBron James as a facilitator, is still there. If LeBron James have shooters around him, he can, take it to the hole, let the defense clutter on him, and he kicks it out to a shooter. And I feel like you have to use that type of style for LeBron James to be very successful. And when he goes on the bench, you still got Lonzo Ball, who can pretty much do the same thing, okay? And in retrospective, he has some aspects. When you look at him, he's not a great shooter, okay? So he's not going to demand a double team. But the one thing he's good at is, letting the defense crowd him, and he can kick the ball out to someone who can make a good shot or a tough shot. He can do the same thing like LeBron James. But he's not as good as LeBron James. Okay, I'm not saying that he is LeBron James, but he has some of those traits that LeBron James has. So when LeBron James has to sit down and rest, you can still keep that pace, that style of game, even when he's on the bench, and when he returns, nothing really changed. They clearly need a coach with a defensive mindset. Tom Thibodeau is that type of coach that is going to allow those other players to enforce defense with them, including LeBron James. He have worked with veterans before, and he knows LeBron James as far as a defensive stopper. I feel like those days are behind because he's a lot older, but I think Tom Thibodeau can make a system where, he won't be as efficient on the defensive end, but he can still help on the defensive end. Okay. So that's what's going on. I feel like all this doom and gloom about the Lakers can easily be overturned by having a great, phenomenal off season. I feel like if they get a good coach with veteran leadership, a mindset, and a coach that they can clearly respect, that's the foundation right there. And then when you go into the off season, you can find shooters in the off season. If it means you have to trade a couple of your own pieces to get a shooter, that's fine. Okay. JJ Redick may take, you might have to pay the max to get JJ Redick there. But JJ Redick is an example of a shooter who, alongside with LeBron James, is only going to get better. Okay. So that's what's going on. I feel like there's a lot of crap, spilling around in social media as well as sports. And guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Sorry that this video went long. It's your boy, and I'm out. Deuces.